Well, good morning and welcome to the Art of Fire Glass Blowing Studio. I'm Bruce. I'll be doing your narration and the camera work today. And we're going to have a spirit piece today. It's going to be making a memorial cat for us. So let's find Mr. Hanson here and find out what's going on.
Howdy, neighbors.
What you got for us today?
We're going to do a little commemorative memorial cat. I work with a company out of Austin, Texas called Spirit Pieces. And I make memorial cats that include cremated bed patches. So, what I've got this morning is an order among them for a tuxedo cat. We'll spare you the less.
Good morning, Lynn. Good morning, gentlemen. Okay.
But they want to do a little tuxedo, and this is what's also known as a halftone. I do cats with them. Their customers select a color that represents their pet. You know, if it's a Bengal or a calico or a tabby or whatever it might be, and we match that color and design. This one's a tuxedo, and it's hard to do a tuxedo because usually that's across the chest, which for these cats is actually underneath. So we're going to interpret that. I'm going to interpret that a little bit. And I'm going to put a little white stripe down to match the black. Just a little strip. And then as we twist and wrap that around and form the cat, we'll get black with a flash of white, black with a flash of white. So it's a little interpretive.
Cool.
On my part. We are going to include the ashes with this. I get a small amount. I sprinkle it on my barber. I'm going to clean this off because I just finished one.
Okay.
We're going to sanitize and clean up, and then we'll get started on this cat shortly. And it actually happens kind of quick. These pieces don't take a long time to make. And they got to go quick because if they get cold, they don't form properly. But we'll do this, and if there's time, maybe we'll do another one just to maybe get a different angle or a different video or a picture, whatever. I mean, I'm on the other side of the camera, so.
Okay. Well, that's a really cool idea with the black and white striping to kind of get the tuxedo look.
We'll see.
Yeah.
As long as the customer's satisfied, that's the important part.
All righty.
There's a little white stripe.
Yeah, it looks like a line of white frit.
Paint. And because this is a halftone, rather than going into the bowl and coating the entire body of this piece, we're going to have this slug of glass that's going to come out and just sort of a tapered cylinder.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to lay it in the black and then sort of rotate. So you'll see me twisting this just barely. What I'm doing is trying to coat about 50%.
Okay.
Once I get that melted in, I'm going to kind of come back and lay that edge where the black is right across that layer of white.
Oh, okay.
And that'll be our stripe, and then we'll incorporate the cremated remains for their pet.
All righty.
Melt all that in, case it in clear, and then we'll actually make the form.
Okay. Sounds great. So if any of you out there are interested in having a cat memorialized, get in touch with us at the Art of Fire, and we'll let you know how it's done.
Spiritpieces.com. To place your order. Really wonderful group of people.
Sprinkling out some of the cremains now.
I've worked with them for about 5 years now, and it's they're just wonderful. To set up this sort of service, really fun. All right.
All righty.
Off we go. We always do first.
So if you've got any questions, folks, ask away. Well, good afternoon, Barry. Wood turning by Barry. So I'm going to guess from the good afternoon from Barry that he's probably somewhere in the UK or Europe. Did that last week with Tom from Yorkshire, and found out that that's where he was. All right, so there's the first gather of clear glass. This is going to form the base or the core of the memorial cat. So there's no color or anything else on this. It just serves as a gathering point, a starting place, if you will. So with that solid core of clear glass, you'll get another gather here, and then you'll be able to start picking up the color on that, and then there'll be a final casing of clear on the outside. Our furnace holds about 450 pounds of molten glass. It runs at 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit all the time. So there he is. You can see how he's rocking back and forth, picking up the black. Get coverage on that. Now he'll round out those areas that kind of got an edge on them. That's what he stepped aside from the black for. He's getting most of that done. So now we've got a nice coating of black all around that half. Great.
Now we'll put the white stripe on.
So anytime we manipulate the glass like that on the Marver is the metal table, then what will happen is it will cause the glass to get a little misshapen from its original cylinder. But while we're applying the colors, this is an important step to do. So now he lines up right on the edge of that black glass. And now you can see how the white fit right up against it.
Now we'll pick up the cremated remains, and it's a very, very fine particle, so it doesn't blend in, but it is compatible enough that it can be incorporated without causing any stress and from any difference in physical properties.
You can see how much that glass is moving around from the extreme heat, but now by rolling through the remains, it gets them applied. And now he's applied something all the way around the gather of glass. He started with the black, he moved into the white, and then the remains have covered most all of the rest of it. This is how he goes about the decorative process. So there's Tommy's workshop. Oh, and he's saying hi to Barry too. Well, welcome aboard, woodturners. Glad to have you with us. So Todd is making a memorial cat. A customer ordered this, and so now he's got the black color, the white color, and the remains on there. Right now he's turning in one direction, only is applying a twist. So he's doing an interpretation of a tuxedo cat. A lot of folks will call and ask for their calico colors or any number of things, and for this particular memorial, which is normally, as Todd said earlier, a white stripe down the front of the suit. Well, we can't quite do that with glass, but he's got that white stripe going through the decorative black right there. So that's how we're going to interpret the tuxedo look.
So we'll just get things as smooth as we can. We'll incorporate all that texture into the surface, and then we'll put that third gather on top of this. And then that should allow the color, you can see that white stripe. So allow that color to show itself a little more prominently. And let it cool.
All right.
So this portion of the process, you got to gather, do a little trim, a real quick reheat, and then come back and shape it. This moves fast, but if it gets cold, it changes the whole process. So we're going to move kind of quick. I'm going to stop by.
All right, so he'll take another gather of clear glass over the decorated portion. He'll let some of that strip off back into the furnace. That's why he's holding it at an angle like that. Little glass drizzles off, If he needs to, he may cut a little bit off the end if he has more than he needs. Glass is still very fluid at this point. He pulls it out with his shears and flips it off. And now he's got all the glass he needs for his tuxedo cat. He was shearing the glass, but he was also lengthening it a little bit, pulling it as he used the shears. Now it's back to the marvering table to shape it. He wants a tapered cone going out toward the tip. That's where he'll pull the tail of the cat from. And he'll leave most of the mass up by the glowing iron, but this angle right now he's using helps pull a little bit of the glass off of the iron. Well, good morning, Bridget, and good morning, Rude, and good luck to you. So Todd is making a memorial cat. The cat's owner said that the cat had a tuxedo look, a black cat with a white belly. We can't quite do that with the glass, but Todd's giving it a really good interpretation here with the white stripe through the black.
This is really all an exercise in figuring out where the heat is, how much time you have to work with. Right about there.
Watching the timing. He'll grip it. It'll fall naturally. He'll turn the pipe, pull the tail around, and the glass just burns itself off. Now for a couple of ears on the sleeping cat, pulled with the tweezers. He's using the jacks right now to create a point of separation from the pipe. He's going to cut that off in just a moment. He's holding it upright so that the cat balances against the shears. This helps to flatten the bottom a little bit. So you can see that beautiful tuxedo look. Now what he'll do is knock it off onto an insulated pad, torch the bottom. The cut mark is still just a little bit sharp, a little bit of a protrusion, but by torching it with a MAP gas or a propane torch, you'll be able to heat that point, press it onto the marver, and flatten it completely. So you can see how he's focusing right on that little bump that's at the bottom. And
Right now it's an Audi.
yeah, it's an Audi.
It's an Audi, we're going to make it a flatty.
Flatty, okay. Yeah, Rude, I'm sure you could handle that. Okay, so then he turns it over, and now he's going to press down hard on it onto the marver. That glass is hot and soft in that area, so it presses it flat. And there you can see it as he takes it away to the annealer. And there you go. There's a tuxedo cat. Beautiful.
So if you remember the Cats for Kids that we did back, I think, in March, we did a fundraiser for No Kid Hungry. We did Maryland cats. Same form, different color grouping. Of course, no cremated remains from a pet, but that shape has been really useful for us for raising money and to help people get over the loss of a pet.
It's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
It is indeed. Okay.
Do another one if you want, or wherever you.
Sure. Yeah. You folks want to see another one? Let's have a vote, people. We're not going to hear you.
Give me about 2
Yeah,
minutes to
yeah, come
swab
on.
clear.
Somebody, yay or nay, thumbs up, thumbs down. Todd's ready.
I'm doing it either way. You
He-
can watch,
he-
or you can
yeah,
go
he's-
off and.
Yes,
make the
Ruth
rest
says
of the day
yes,
go.
Lynn says yes, Joanna says yes. It's yes, 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 up and down the line.
So I need to clean up a little bit.
Okay, so let him put away the remains there, and Barry from the UK is giving us a thumbs up on doing another one.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, so we will. Alright, so while he's preparing the color, I think most all of you, I recognize a lot of these names you've been viewing before, but it might be that we have someone that's new to the show, so let's show you around the studio a little bit. We've got 4 working stations for glass blowers. These units that are behind the shield are called glory holes. They're simply a reheating oven. Todd's right now is operational. And you can see that he's got some of his pipes leaning up against it pre-warming. This is our furnace. It holds about 450 pounds of molten glass. Soda lime glass is what it's called because of the formula it's made from. And you might be able to detect the flame back there. This is the intimidating part of learning glass blowing, is getting right up to the furnace. We have a pipe warmer here. By putting our irons here, or as Todd did, leaning them up against his glory hole, we preheat the iron and it allows the glass to stick to it a lot better. We've got another glory hole up and operational right now. Josh will be working here a little later this morning. And if you guys would like to join us on our Facebook Live presentation, that'll be in just a little bit. 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. Go ahead and make your conversions, plus 4 hours for the UK or wherever else you happen to be. This is the inside of a glory hole. And it's just basically a ceramic tube that's been cast. On the left back there, about midway up on the wall, you can see the burner tip. And that's the source of the heat for this unit. So when we're making glass, we come out of the furnace and we immediately begin to lose heat. And as soon as you start losing heat, the glass gets stiffer, it's harder to work. You need a source to reheat it. That's why we use the glory hole. Back along this wall here, our annealers. These are basically boxes of brick, and we maintain a temperature of 900 degrees Fahrenheit in those. And at the end of the day, we turn them off and the bricks release the heat slowly. This is a garage. Looks a little bit like a garage you might park a car in. A couple of mini Coopers maybe, but we park glass in here. And if we're making a multi-part piece, we can put them in there, hold them, they don't get cold and crack. Hello, Antoinette, good to have you with us. And so we're not going to be using that right now, and it looks like Mr. Todd is ready to go.
All right, we're going to do this at regular speed.
Okay.
I'm just going to do my thing if you guys can watch and see how
All right.
this happens.
So once again, he's got a small gather of glass to start with, and what he'll do is use the marver. Now, by adjusting the angle of the iron and the pressure that he puts on the iron with either his thumb or the palm of his hand, he can elongate the little slug of glass. He can taper it if he wants. He can do anything he wants as far as the shaping. Okay? What color is this one going to be?
This is going to be all black.
All black. A black cat.
New
Okay.
Zealand.
Okay.
All blacks.
All right. So now he'll take that second gather of glass, and that cord just gives him something solid and off of the pipe to gather onto. You can see the glass wiggling around. That's the one element of the glass blowing that is really hard for beginners to learn, is to control the glass when it's in such a fluid state. By turning the pipe and tapping the glass into the bowl of the black frit, or powder. We got there. Powder or zero?
Well,
Something.
it's I think Gaffer calls it a zero.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we'll
So
go with
there
that.
are
It's a
there
Gaffer
are.
zero.
So I'll explain that. There are a couple of different manufacturers of glass, and we buy our color from them. And one of them is called Gaffer. Another is called Reichenbach. And everybody has grades of frit. Now there's the remains for this one all gathered up on the black. So anyway, just like one pair of jeans with a 30-inch waist is not the same as another pair of jeans with a 30-inch waist, a zero frit is not the same from glass manufacturer to glass manufacturer.
When have any of us ever worn 30?
Well, I was just waiting
When I was
for
like
that.
6
Yeah,
or 7, I
yeah.
think.
That was probably junior high school or something, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, it got me there. All right, so Rude, if you're still watching and considering making one of these, and you've picked up your cullet and decorated it, or if you have a cullet that is colored, This is basically the process you want to follow. You want to gather or have a core of glass, kind of a cylinder, then pick up a good bit more glass from your kiln, since you don't have a furnace. And then once you got that, if you are decorating it with additional colors, after you're done there, you're going to do this shaping. Notice how Todd has the handle of the iron down. That was initially to take the glass off the pipe. Now he's pointing the iron downward. The handle end is up higher. That gave him the taper. So by rolling back and forth, you can see how he gets this. And it's kind of an elongated diamond shape, I would call it. It's widest about 1.5 inches. What's that, 3 centimeters off the end of the iron. And then it tapers down gradually over the next couple of inches. So this is the shape you want to start with, Brood. And then when you put more glass on top of it and put in an extreme amount of heat, you'll have something to pull right into the cat form.
I was going to say, it's not only the shape you want to start with, it's the shape that you want to finish with. So I get it as soon as possible, so it's a minimal of shaping, it's a matter of just forming.
Okay.
You got to do all the...
You got to do the leg kick, right?
From the Ministry of Silly Walks.
Okay. So he's going to pick up glass out of the furnace. Anyone trying this without a furnace, you'd have to be getting it from your pellet in the kiln. But perhaps if your temperature is high enough, it's not like shards. All right, so he's got a little more there than he needs. He's going to pull some off and shear it off. But you can still see that kind of blunt, bullet-shaped nose on it. So take a good look at this shape. This is how he gets it set up. All right, there's still got the thicker part back by the iron. Now he's just going to taper the end, and he's going to make this a little bit longer. The glass is lengthening because it's hot and it's pointed downward. Also, the pressure on the pipe lengthens it. This angle here takes it off of the pipe a little bit, and now it's time to get the whole thing blazing hot. And you can pay attention to how slowly he actually goes through this process and under control. He doesn't run back in a hurry and just grab the glass and yank it, because it's so hot that it would come off in a thin string. So what he'll do is watch the glass, let it fall gently, and he's even turning, then he turns it down. Now see how it's just lengthening a little. Now he's holding the tail up. He'll begin to turn the iron away a little bit and wrap the tail around. And then the final move is to cast his arm straight downward, and that takes the glass right off. It's so hot it burns itself off. A little pinch with the tweezers on either side of that largest part of the cat, and you've got the ears. We cut a jack line here. This is a point of separation from the pipe. And also with that straight angle, he's completely vertical. It keeps the curvature on the bottom from happening, okay? So now he's got the shears below the cat. That helps flatten it a little bit. He'll clip that off. Once it's broken free, he'll heat that little bit that's sticking out on the end, and then with an insulated glove, turn it over and press it into the marble. And that's how he'll get it completely flattened. And now I press down. You can see it's rocking a little bit. It was still on that little nub, but now that he's pressed it, it's sitting completely flat. And there we go. All right. So let's hear it for Todd. Come on. How about some thumbs up? How about a few hearts? Thank you, Todd. Appreciate that. Appreciate you all joining us. And if please join us in about 4.5 minutes. Over on Facebook Live, the Art of Fire Contemporary Glass Blowing Studio. We got a page there, and we'll be doing some more glass blowing for you. So Have a great day. So long.